Covering anime, I watch a lot of trailers and a lot of PVs, but there's very few times where I immediately stop and say, holy shit, I want this right now. I want this anime right this second. Where is it? And that definitely happened with the pilot film of I Want to Love You Till Your Dying Day, a new series that was greenlit for an anime adaptation from Kadokawa. And my gosh, like I said, the trailer, the pilot film itself is absolutely incredible. We got some crazy action, we got cute girls, we got violence, we got blood everywhere, we got Yuri action that gets super, super spicy. Everything in this trailer screams, Andrew wants this right now. But of course, as I look into this more, there is quite a bit of a pause that I'm getting in the idea of this getting an anime adaptation, and it's mostly around the studio itself. But yes, for those who don't know what the series is, there is a brief little synopsis that we have for it, and it is, at the mysterious orphanage where Sheena lives, death is nothing new to its residents. Girls who no longer have families of their own, who are raised as weapons of war, taught to kill and take the lives of others without batting an eye. Everyone, that is, except for Sheena, who wishes for nothing more than the growing conflict around her to end. On the night of her roommate's death, Sheena meets a strange girl covered in blood, who smiles despite the turmoil surrounding them. The next day, the girl appears as a new student in Sheena's class and introduces herself as Mimi. Initially thought to be a school myth, there is now whispers in the orphanage halls that Mimi is their secret weapon, an immortal who cannot die. That makes sense to the trailer itself. There's a character who gets completely messed up, and then she's like covered in blood, and she's like, hey, how's it going? When Mimi is later assigned as Sheena's new roommate, Sheena's world grows even more complicated when she begins living with someone who loves and welcomes death, when all Sheena wants to do is try to stop it. She's like, I want to stop. And this girl wants to kill things. But yeah. Really interesting synopsis there, and again, makes a lot of sense to the trailer itself, showing a lot of violence, this character going crazy and then just getting completely tore up, yet not seemingly dead. But yeah, like I said before, the emphasis I want to give to this, and I definitely recommend you guys go check out the pilot film. Like I said, it's got me super hyped for this. I mean, I loved a show called Magical Revolution that a lot of other people did not like, but that was a fantasy show that had Yuri in it that wasn't Yuri bait. Like, it went full on into it. It's like, this is a relationship. And I got that sense from this trailer. Yes, Magical Revolution wasn't quite that bloody and dark and gory. It was technically a lot into like discrimination and whatnot, but I love the fact that it was fantasy, it had cute girls, and then they were just not hiding from the idea of relationships. This looks like it has relationships in it. I mean, the girls in it are literally rubbing up against each other. They're going all out. But again, I want to emphasize it's a pilot film. And pilot films are they're not typically releasing trailers labeled pilot films. So this tells me, hey, this is a pilot, and typically pilots can sometimes have higher quality and better directing and whatnot put into it. It shouldn't be indicative of what we're going to get with the TV anime adaptation, where it's like, okay, here's a massively awesome trailer. It gets people pumped for the manga. It gets people pumped for the anime. And then when the product comes out, it's okay, now it's a TV broadcast. Let's dial it back. Let's bring the budget back to what people would expect from a TV broadcast, unfortunately. But again, a lot of people are kind of pointing out one specific thing about this anime adaptation, and that is Roll 2. It's a studio that is not really known for having great anime quality here, especially when it comes to this particular show, Love is Indivisible by Twins. Now, I will admit, when Love is Indivisible by Twins came out, I was perfectly fine with it initially. Like, the trailer for it was beautiful. I love the character designs. They look super cute. I was pretty pumped for it. But then, yes, like many people that actually watch the show would know, once we got past, like, episode 1 and 2, quality started coming down quite a bit. It was still okay, but it's not to the quality that we've seen from this trailer. Let's be damn sure. You started seeing more wonky character designs, things moving less. The quality started dipping a lot. I mean, you can kind of see that from the actual score. But I want to emphasize that, yes, the quality of a show isn't always indicative on the studio. I like to point out the studio because it's important, because it gives you a sense of, their pedigree. But you always have to keep in mind that in some cases, it's all about the budget and time given to it. And yes, you can have cases like Studio Dean puts out a lot of garbage, but then you'll have a case like Shogun Roku that'll come out and you're suddenly like, holy crap, this is Dean? Wait. And you have Shaft. Oh no, there's a new Shaft show coming out and it looks like butt. And you're like, wait, that's Shaft though. Shaft always puts out the most great things ever, right? It can't be Shaft. But that doesn't necessarily mean that this cannot be Roll 2's breakout hit. It doesn't mean that we can't have the quality of that trailer from this studio, because it always comes down to how much time they're given, the team that's working on it, and the budget. Now, yes, good to point out, the producers behind this is Infinity, and they were the ones that did the same exact show. But they've also, helped produce a lot of really high quality stuff as well. So it's a very mixed bag, and we won't really know until the show comes out. And hopefully we'll get another trailer that's not a pilot film to get a full sense of the quality to expect. I think they're going to be releasing in sometime this month. They'll be releasing an actual official website that will give us a sense of, hopefully at that time, maybe a trailer. But if it's labeled greenlit, that typically means that they just now started. They're now working on it. Here's a pilot film for the property. And then later on, after, some time and it's being produced, we'll get a sense of what Roll 2 is going to be doing for the TV anime adaptation. Despite all that, there is still a lot of things here to be excited about. One, yes, looking into this more, I had no idea about the manga itself. I actually am kind of thinking of cracking it open just to see what the story is going to be about. The manga itself seems to be doing very well on Mal, at least, which is rare. Typically, when I'm looking into new adaptations, I look at the source material and people aren't too happy about it, or that, it's in the 7 range area. This is above 8, so it's kind of rare. Seems like there's a lot of people that like it. So I'm possibly going to crack that open and see how that's going. As for the team working on it, the big one right now, obviously, is a lot of people are freaking out because Ria Takahashi's working in it. She's going to be the Sheena character, which, again, like I said, with the synopsis, she's the one that wants to stop the war. So great to see Ria Takahashi involved there. The other one, Rina, she's the one that worked on Milim from Tensura. So really awesome Seiyu there as well. So some really good pedigree that's going to be at least voicing the roles in the actual project. So cool stuff there. Some other stuff that I really like to note is that the character designer worked on Spirit Chronicles, which, yes, I'm not a massive fan of Spirit Chronicles, but the characters are cute. I like the character designs. I love the character designs in Spirit Chronicles. So cool to see that as well. Other than that, the director only really worked on Kunichi Tsubaki, so that's a little bit of a hesitation there as well. They haven't really done too much directorial work themselves, except for, again, Kunichi Tsubaki. We have Tokyo Autumn Session, so not a lot of great stuff under their belt. But again, hopeful. I'll keep that copium in there and hope that this stuff turns out well, because again, I'm already hyped for this. What else? I think that's pretty much everything. They released some celebratory arts for it as well, which look really fantastic. We have some from the actual character designer for the anime and the illustrator for the actual, original source material. So cool little art there. But yeah, overall, I should chill myself out, but I can't help but feel very excited for this project. I think overall, just what it's presented me with. Hopefully, again, the TV anime adaptation is going to be just the same qualities of that pilot film. But again, I want everybody to be emphasized in their minds, this is a pilot film. This is not indicative of the final product. I hope it is. And I think there is a side of me that almost kind of hopes that with how high quality and how much hype is being created around the pilot film, it will push them to put a lot of budget and quality into the final product. Because, some of those shots were fantastic. Again, I love the contrast of the blood. I think it looks fantastic. Seeing the blood kind of smashing up against their face was really amazing. Again, the scene in the bedroom was really super spicy, and I was just loving every single bit of it. It looked gorgeous. The directing, the positioning of the shots themselves was all fantastic. The action scenes having the character being cut in half and seeing it kind of split the character, and you see that kind of slow motion was just amazing. I think the only shot in the entire pilot was that didn't really work for me was probably the shot where she jumps down off the cliff. It looks almost like just pretty much a steel going down. There's animation to it, but it's just how the sense of distance didn't really feel right. But other than that, everything else looked just super good. The shot of Mimi reaching down to Sheena, just with the blood all over, it looks good. It looks too damn good. So I'm hype. But don't be as hype as me. y'all set your expectations. But anyhow, I just want to get on here and talk about it. I get it out of my system because I've just been thinking about it ever since I seen that pilot. It looks good. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, hit the like button down below, comment, Let me know if are you hype? Are you going to set your expectations? Are you thinking I'm wrong, that this is going to be indicative of the final product? If you read it, do you like it? Don't know spoilers, but tell us if you like it or not. But anyhow, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe before you leave. Like this content, you want to support time more. I have links in the description below. Greatly appreciate it. Until next time, y'all take care.